Alright, let's start with the basics. You want to grip the cube in such a way that your thumb is placed on the front center at around a 45-degree angle, so that it blocks all the L and the D moves from happening. Then you do the same thing with the middle finger in the back, and you just add the ring finger on the bottom for the increased stability. Now, for the actual turning, I reconstructed my last 10 practice solves and run a little script on them to see how often I use every phase. Keep in mind that 10 solves does not give you the best approximation, especially when it comes to moves like B, which I only use in freezy BLLs and the Y perm. Anyway, as you can see, the RU and wide R moves constitute around 85% of total moves. So you need to make sure you're very comfortable with them, which luckily is not a very hard task. However, it's the other 15% of moves that will slow you down. So you need to put extra effort into making them as painless as possible. So for the R moves, you want to use your pinky in most of the cases, pushing the BDR sticker right here. And for R prime, pushing the FRD sticker from the front. Then for R2, I tend to double flick with my pinky first, followed by the ring finger. I think most of the people do that. You lose a little bit of stability when using the ring because you just let go of the back face, but that's alright as long as you come back to a normal grip right after it. And also it's even better if the R2 move is followed by an R prime later. So for example, in the U perm, you start like this, and then you do an R prime on the way back to normal grip with the ring finger. When it comes to wide R moves, you change the grip slightly. You just put the thumb on these two stickers in the front, and same thing for the middle finger in the back. Use the ring finger for both R and R prime, just pushing this way. You just have to push on the M layer edge in both cases. That's enough. You don't have to make sure to push both of them. In some cases, you want to use the index finger for the R prime move. For example, in this OL. So you start with the ring here, then U, like a special U, and go down with an R prime. U moves, push the BUL sticker, this one, with your index finger for U prime, and come to the front and push the FLU for U moves. Depending on the situation, you might also consider pushing the LBU sticker. For example, whenever you need to do RU, R prime U, it just makes sense to follow the first U with the other U. It just flows. So it just becomes one finger trick. For D moves, you need to change your grip slightly this way. Just put your thumb horizontally, and same for the middle finger in the back. Then use your ring finger for both the D and D prime moves. For D2, you can double flick in the same way as in the case of R2. So just pinky and ring. Also sometimes you can substitute the last D prime of the algorithm with a wide U prime. So for example in the E perm, U prime, and then you can even AUF on the right side. Alright, L moves, that's where the fun begins. To do an L, you need to adjust your grip slightly so that your fingers are not touching the L layers. So what you do is you have to raise these two and raise your thumb so that it doesn't touch the L layer. You also need to add your pinky on the D center to add some stability, right? Then you can push the BUL sticker towards yourself in this way. This move is a little risky, so only use it when the moves surrounding it do not contain more L face moves. For L prime, try to substitute it with a wide R prime. One example of using these two techniques is the TZBLL. It's this one. Otherwise, the L prime and L2 moves are more or less impossible to do from here. So just do a Z rotation whenever you need to do them. Then you don't lose much because that's the least costly one-handed rotation anyway. F moves. Put your index finger on the top face in between the S and B layers and do the same with your pinky on the bottom center so that you can use your thumb to do an F. For F prime, stay in the normal grip and just add your pinky on the bottom, once again right here, and push with your index finger on UFL. Now this is a very useful move that should be almost as fast as the R and U. Also, to do an F2, just do F prime twice. Now when it comes to B moves, B is the only possible one. So you have to think of it as of F prime, except this time you put your pinky in between the F and S layers, so right here. And you push on ULB with your index this way. And for B prime, you can try to substitute it with a wide F prime with a Z rotation, like this. So one example of this is this ZBLL, where usually you would start with a B prime and a rotation, but instead you can do an F prime and finish this way. Also, the B move itself is very important for Y perm. There's two other moves that I find quite useful, and the first one is the M prime, where you have to put your pinky on this corner right here, and then just push the M layer up with your ring finger. It's not the most stable, but it is useful in some cases, some OLLs. Another one is the S prime, which works the same way as an F prime or a B, except this time we don't need the pinky finger for stabilizing. We just push this layer right here. And the one example of being useful is this ZBLL. What's the inverse of this case? Yes, exactly this one. And that's all. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions, and see you next time.